and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers, coming to you from downtown Scarborough at the rooftop of Smithfield Plaza. It is our vantage point for today's episode in the island's capital for the many events and activities taking place in beautiful Tobago. And as we do every week, as we get you updated on the major stories in the next half hour, all you've got to do is relax and we'll fill you in on all the details, starting, of course, with this week's headlines. Tobago gears up for the Trade and Investment Convention, the first Diamond Jubilee Bandstand concert series hosted by Her Excellency Paula May Weeks, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, was held right here in Tobago. The Tobago Agribusiness Development Company, TADCO, is being innovative in finding ways to provide support to their stakeholders, and later, Outgoing Chief Executive Officer Mr. Louis Lewis goes out in style. We have these stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago returns, so stay with us.
Whoa, welcome to paradise. You will feel so nice in Tobago. This party island, we vibes it strong like white brown boy. Party sweet on the road, from your reach you go know. It's bacchanal non-stop, this song go leave we and come back boy. Party sweet on the road, from your reach you go know. Come join the Gonian band.
This year's Trade and Investment Convention is taking place at the Center of Excellence, Mokoya, Trinidad, from the 25th to the 27th of August. There's a lot of preparation, but businesses and THA companies are gearing up for what will be an exciting 3-day event filled with exhibitions, business-to-business meetings, and seminars. Omadara Mills and cameraman Isaac James met up with one of the Tobago-based businesses going to the event to get their take. They also had a chat with one of the THA organizers to get the Assembly's perspective. Take a look.
We have from the red mangoes, all the preservatives, the plums, the cherries, whatever fruit is in season. We have farine, we have the sugar cake, the ginger nut cake, the caramel nut cake, the bene balls, the bene sticks. We also have the fudge, tum-tums, coconut fudge. We actually started off with the coconut fudge only. And we also have the chip chips, so all the indigenous sweets, we made them. This is the first time Tum-Tum's Local Confectionery has the opportunity to be a part of the TIC initiative, and we are indeed grateful. I would not be present, but my husband, who is the operations manager of this business, he will be there. We see it as an effort to market network beyond Tobago, so not only will we have the customer to business networking happening, but the business to business, and we are indeed grateful.
You have the small businesses that will fall under the banner of the Business Development Unit or the Strategic Business Development Unit, which I'm a part of. So you have Osani Designs, Avian Thomas, you have Edward Jones doing the support brand, JMac Industries. You also have Shanice Prince from Tom Tom's Confectionery. So you'll have local sweets presented in a way that can go to external markets in this particular TIC. You'll also have Carlin Kennedy of Kennedy's Agro Processing. You'll have Tobago Media Concepts, Karen Duke, as well. You'll have Savor the Isle Juices from Mr. Keston Pope. This is actually the first year that a concerted effort is being made to feature some of the entities that fall under the banner of the Tobago House of Assembly. So in that regard, we have the Tobago Agribusiness Development Company, TADCO. We also have the Tobago Performing Arts Company, TPAC. We have presentations as well from Shore Park Complex. We have the Tobago Festivals Commission. I'll also include TTAL, the Tobago Tourism Authority Limited, who are in collaboration with the Festivals Commission, as well as Tobago Information Technology Limited, which will be in the Tobago space at TIC. We have Studley Park Enterprises, and that's really key for us because Studley Park is a key asset in the Tobago space, and they have the potential to bring in direct foreign exchange into the island. I think we're looking to do it bigger and bolder. I think under the theme of Invest, Connect, Activate, Elevate, we are looking to position Tobago as not just a participant, but somebody that needs to be engaged continually. So TIC presents that platform where we can showcase the potential of Tobago and be in a position that says, let's at least start the dialogue, so that coming out of TIC, we expect to see distribution deals for TADCO, for example. They have already had partnerships with Novo Farms, and you'll see an elevation of that coming out of TIC. As well, we would look for business deals for Studley Park Enterprises. We expect to see greater engagements for Shore Park Complex in terms of the conference space, as well for the smaller entities. Because we've continued our participation in the past, we expect a continuation of business deals coming out for them. So they typically leave TIC, coming out of TIC, they have contracts to provide supplies to different retail spaces.
The Caribbean Broadcasting Union is a not-for-profit association of public service and commercial broadcasters in the Caribbean, reaching over 4.8 million people in the region. As a regional institution, it facilitates discussion and analysis that assist in policy formulation on major integration issues, and they recently hosted their AGM on the island of Tobago. In this report, we take you to the opening ceremony.
Welcome to the 53rd.
Tobago was home to the 53rd edition of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union's annual General Assembly under the theme Media and Information Literacy. The opening ceremony of the conference highlighted the timeliness and importance of the theme.
The communication space is a co-created one, and the media sector has a critical role to play outside of being the instruments for others. The place of the indigenous media as a critical sector for society is one of the points for discussion with the CARICOM Secretary General.
In welcoming the audience, Chief Secretary Honorable Farley Augustine says the challenge currently lies with the way in which media practitioners remain relevant in a world that's vastly changing. As such, he says we have an opportunity to revisit the issue of ethics and how information is managed. He says the Caribbean diaspora now has the chance to advance the region's agenda.
We're now living in an age where information is at our fingertips. We live in an age where there are people who are not trained broadcasters who can get the news to us much faster than the traditional media practitioners. Your competition is every youth who has a Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, or Instagram account and a smartphone. You have an opportunity to tell our story the way we want our stories to be told. You have an opportunity to tell our stories in the most authentic manner and to broadcast across the length and breadth of this world truly who we are. What's the truth behind being a Caribbean man and a Caribbean woman?
According to Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Keith Rowley, who gave the keynote address, journalists must focus, investigate, interpret, educate, and report on the development process of the country.
They must take ownership and be guardians. And given the Caribbean's history, they must be understanding and sympathetic to the realistic challenges of the fledgling development process which we experience. Most importantly, journalists must be able to do so without any government guidance or intervention. As such, they must cultivate and view their world with the so-called jeweler's eye.
And receiving the President's Award for 2022 was Sally Ann Wilson in recognition of her immense contribution to the Caribbean Broadcasting Union.
Prime Minister, I've been privileged to witness how important good journalism is to all of our lives. We underestimate the role that it plays at our peril. To many in power, strong, independent and accurate journalism is inconvenient, uncomfortable even. They must not deter you. At its best, it's the glue that holds our societies, our lives together.
Suriname's Fritz Pengel and Barbados's Gary Allen were also inducted into the Caribbean Media Hall of Fame for their outstanding contribution to the regional media sector. The opening ceremony was hosted at the Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort in collaboration with the Tobago House of Assembly. In honor of the 60th anniversary of Trinidad and Tobago's independence, Her Excellency Paula May Weeks, ORTT, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, hosted for the first time on the island the Diamond Jubilee Bandstand Concert Series. Our camera crew was at the right place at the right time to catch this. Have a look. The sweet sounds of steel pan and music reverberated throughout Scarborough on Saturday in honor of the 60th anniversary of Trinidad and Tobago's independence. That's because the Diamond Jubilee Bandstand Concert Series, hosted by the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Her Excellency Paula May Weeks, ORTT, started off in Tobago at the Bandstand at Scarborough Esplanade.
As we approached this Diamond Jubilee, we were thinking in the office, what can we do? What can we do that will include all the people of the nation, give access to everyone, whatever age, whatever class, people who are all patriots and citizens? What can bring them together? And as we were speaking to each other, those of us over 60, and I won't identify anyone but myself, we were talking about the concerts that used to be held in the bandstand at the front of President's house. And as the conversation went on, many of our younger members of staff not only had never been to any of the concerts, but they did not know that they ever existed. And so we said, bingo, that's what we can do.
Boasting of Tobago's scenic background for the first series of the concert, Chief Secretary Honorable Fali Augustine urged citizens to be patriotic.
Patriotism is about loving your country regardless of its faults. And yes, we do have some flaws and faults, but the love for our country should be unwavering. There are some things that go beyond the politics. There are some things that go beyond ethnicity and religion and all the other things that tends to divide us. But patriotism is that one thing that should allow us to live in harmony.
The concert featured live performances from our service bands. The concert series ends on September 4th, and all concerts are free to members of the public. Tobago Carnival 2022 is getting closer. On the other side of this break, you'll get a little snippet from the official launch. Stay with us. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back.
This is paradise, where the vibe's so nice. Say whoa, say whoa. Welcome to paradise, you will feel so nice in Tobago. Everybody set up. Release it. Chop up. Release it. Chop up. Release it. Chop up. Release it.
Ritual, revelry, release. As traditional meets contemporary.
It is time for centering, as it were, to affirm our magnetism in the form of a unique carnival expression. It is indeed our time to center ourselves and declare our identifiably Tobagonian stamp on the global calendar of festival events. The October Carnival festivities will reveal hidden treasures of our cultural soul and reshape the carnival experience as we know it. It will birth a new experience and a unique tourism product.
Species of mankind, release, breathe. The streets renew itself. Release.
Give praise to men. Give praise. Give praise to men. Give praise.
We talk about that beautiful heritage woman. She becomes more beautiful, pregnant with potential. Do we know what that baby looks like? That baby is Carnival 2022. That baby is being born on October 28th to October 30th, 2022.
It's sweeter than honey, it's richer than money. It's a couple miles to his sister.
I thoroughly enjoyed the launch. I think that was very exciting, especially seeing T-Pack on stage once again. I enjoyed seeing the cultural and traditional aspects of Tobago, as well as the revelry and the lovely carnival costumes that were there. So for Tobago Carnival, I'm expecting to see the same thing. I'm expecting to see a lot of outsiders come in to enjoy what we have. And hopefully it's an extension of Tobago Heritage Festival so that people can still experience what we have year long.
We have our collab coming up with Dynasty Events. Dynasty, who did paint in the summer. We have something called Revel Road. I won't say copy, but a Tobago version of Bacchanal Road coming on October the 23rd.
I expect Tobago's carnival to be an overwhelming success. It's the first carnival, and anything that is new there would be some problems, some teething problems, which would be quite obvious. But I see a lot of people in this space comparing to the Trinidad Carnival, which has been in existence for a very long time. And I think we just need to be patient and allow the festival to grow.
On the 22nd of October, we will be having a party called Hideout. It's at 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's pretty much the start of the Carnival week. So we are going to start off the Carnival weekend with a blast.
Unity is our strength in Tobago, so it's going to have to be our strength for Tobago Carnival in October too. But look out for Fog Angels. I don't want to give all you too much detail, but we have a big brand to look out for, international brand to look out for that I'm the designer for, and then my own personal elite section in Fog Angels, first time ever.
Arcadia is the band that we expect to put out a premium experience. And when we say premium, I mean the real Tobago experience, that a person must come, they can enjoy Tobago, enjoy what Tobago has to offer, culture, food, full works.
The fog is coming. The fog is coming.
Cause the carnival sweet like Tobago, the condensed milk in the cocoa. All the girls they hot like Sambo and bad like Rambo. Right now they wine it down. Hey, the carnival sweet like Tobago. Raise up on the seats. We are celebrating carnival at Tobago.
The Tobago Agribusiness Development Company, or TADCO, is working assiduously to achieve its objectives of being more profitable and providing support to its stakeholders. In this next story, we share with you 2 areas where the company is making headway. Listen up to this story.
We had two types of the catch, which one for export and one for the local market. So for the local market, we receive about just under 1,235 pounds, which was made up of dolphin, ocean guard, some small tuna, and we had some kingfish. And that is all in effort to assist the local entrepreneurs, the local fish agro processors, so that they are able to make their value-added product from the fish. Yes, and going forward, we will be supporting the school feeding program with the contractors who are involved in, so that the kids can have that local fish into their diet. We caught about 15 tuna, grade 1 and grade 2. The value came up to just under, I think it was about 14,000 US. And from the TT equivalent, it was about just under 19,000 TT that we made from the fish. The capital of paradise was done for 4.5 years, so we have to be very careful. We're not pushing it all the way as yet, because there's some little bugs that to work out. Hopefully all these matters are already rectified, so the next trip we're going to go further and hopefully get the targets that we want. We are looking at the 20th for the vessel to go back out to sea, and she is going to be going further than normal. So we have to be very measured in how we do things. The entire crew is Tobagonian. It's a very young crew. In terms of the whole succession planning, we have identified some young guys there who could actually one day become the captain there. No? So they've actually gotten the experience. Some of them are certified and stuff. So we have to work closer with them in terms of their competence really to basically take over the operations.
We dealt with strictly persons who were interested in cassava to supplying TADCO, so we had about 84 participants, and for 84 persons to come out at Shore Park on that day, it was well attended. That is to show the interest that these farmers have in supplying the company with cassava. Currently, all farmers are Tobagonians. We are trying, first of all, to build that farming capacity on the island first. We are not excluding outside of Tobago, but we want to start with farmers here first. They have acreage that they want to produce, and our idea is to help to secure or assist in securing food on the island. So we got to have farmers involved first. We had farmers being told or given an idea of our commodity supply program, so how they could get involved in the program, what are the elements of the program. We had also discussed on that day a mini primary production, showing them good production practices. So our processing manager was there who spoke about where the product, those raw material, what were the end products, whether we were having secondary products like mash or tertiary products like the waffles or farine or the cakes. So she spoke to that. So in the room, the farmers like, whoa, they see themselves being part of a story rather than I'm just supplying TADCO. They see themselves as this journey that TADCO is taking with them, and they could now go on the supermarket shelves and say, hey, that cassava came from my farm, you know. It was really, truly amazing. I think the comments came afterwards. Actually, during the consultation, persons who you think would be hard to convince, they were sold, literally said they were sold on the idea. As a matter of fact, on that day, we had quite a number of persons doing the application form to supply TADCO. So it was really positive energy coming out of that.
Some of Tobago's young people got behind the scenes of the production of Let's Talk Tobago as part of the Teen Media and Me Vacation Camp. Here's how they spent their time with us.
Today with the information department was an exciting one. I learned with producing this Let's Talk Tobago that you don't stay in one place. Why, you may ask? It is to get different sights and views of the particular location that you are at. I enjoyed, and I definitely will want to come back.
Today was very exciting. It was fun. I would definitely want to come back and experience this again. I would definitely recommend having like a tour or like a field trip like this. And something I learned today was that they don't actually read it from the top of their heads. They use like a script and they use a prompter to like read from it.
For me, it was enjoyable because I got to roll the prompter
and I also got to use the reflector. So today was a very enjoyable day. They take multiple stories at different locations, so they could also give free marketing to the location that they are at, and also to change the scenery up a little bit, because we don't want to see the same thing over and over and over again.
So we have to take a break, but don't go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Whoa, welcome to paradise. You will feel so nice in Tobago. This party island, the vibes it strong like white rum, boy. Party sweet on the road. From your reach, you go know. It's back and non-stop. This song go leave we and come back, boy. Party sweet on the road. From your reach, you go know. Come join the Onion Band.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. Now, the Caribbean Broadcasting Union Awards ceremony, which celebrates media excellence across the region, was recently held on the island. But one group in particular stood out, taking home 14 awards. Have a look.
The Caribbean Media Awards of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union was held recently. It was an evening to highlight the contributions of content creators, including videographers, song engineers, producers, directors, and social media content producers. Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation Tasha Boris says she's pleased that Tobago is hosting this year's event.
Tobago and its people are indeed elated to host the Caribbean Broadcasting Union's 53rd annual general meeting. Our entire island and all that are present can agree that this forum is a marvelous working example of what regional integration, unity, and progress represents for us as a Caribbean people. I stand before you this evening as a proud product and testament of what Caribbean societies can produce, as an embodiment of drive, passion, and a commitment towards ensuring that Tobago represents itself boldly, creatively, and uniquely on the global stage, while contributing to the Caribbean experience that we all proudly attest to as being part of this region.
Speaking at the function, Mr. Gilbert Peterson, Chairman of the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, TTAT, is hoping that in the coming year, 2023, apprenticeship programs can be made available to encourage broadcast engineering students.
In 2020, we took the opportunity of the impending elections to also assist by putting on programs to assist the broadcast and telecommunications sector with topics such as covering an election campaign, election and the media, opinion polls and pollstering, election advertising, and code of ethical and political conduct. With our commitment to capacity building in the broadcasting sector, it's our intention to continue to do so. We hope that we are able in 2023 to give apprenticeship programs to encourage broadcast engineers, students to participate in that kind of training to assist the industry.
The RJR Gleaner Communications Group walked away with the most awards in television, print, and radio categories combined. The Caribbean Media Awards formed part of the CBU's annual General Assembly held in Tobago in partnership with the Tobago House of Assembly. I'm Kian Walker-Hazel for Let's Talk Tobago.
The board and the staff of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited held an appreciation luncheon for outgoing Chief Executive Officer Mr. Louis Lewis, who for the past 5 years was tasked to pilot a company to lead the redevelopment, marketing, and repositioning of the island's tourism product. Juliet James tells us more.
It was a very difficult decision for me to make. I want to take the spotlight off of me because none of what we achieved, I could have done it by myself. And I had a very good team.
During Mr. Lewis's tenure, Tobago received several international awards. In 2020, Northeast Tobago received the UNESCO Man and the Biosphere designation. And in 2019, the Tobago Beyond Ordinary brand copped the World Travel Market Silver Award for Best National Tourism Award campaign.
When you hear the Silver Award and you hear Tobago, up to today I can't tell you that I heard who won. I mean, I know now, but I did not hear, because to me that the show had ended. You know, we won and they said it and they look at us and we went and we collected something. So to me that was, you know, an endorsement.
The agency under Mr. Lewis has been instrumental in starting several initiatives to bolster Tobago's tourism industry.
Customer service training initiative that we are taking on as an island-wide initiative. There's no other island in the Caribbean who has taken it on at that scale, but it's moving quietly and it's moving slowly. We have a very excellent partnership with the THTI in putting that training together, and we have an international partner in uplifting service to make it happen.
The outgoing CEO hopes that Destination Tobago can capitalize on other major initiatives that would reposition the island's tourism sector.
I really would have liked to complete the digitization project. I think it's a point where creating impressions in the marketplace is what we do, and we've been able to create a lot, over 6 million on a monthly basis. But where the chain is broken is between creating the impression and closing a sale. And the closing a sale is the part where the private sector comes in, and we are not sufficiently digitized. I mean, people are moving to a platform, or are in a platform now, where they expect to pay by a credit card. They expect to be able to make contactless, closed transactions, and we are not there yet.
The Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Assistant Secretary, Administrator and the staff of the division thanks Mr. Louis Lewis for his remarkable contribution to Tobago's tourism product and wish him great success for his next milestone. From the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, I'm Juliet James reporting for Let's Talk Tobago.
So we have come to the end of yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and enjoyable week and reminding you to stay safe in the fight against COVID-19.